Hello, and the audio is not working. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the 2018 Canadian Ultimate Championships. We are here in Brampton, Ontario. A little bit of sunshine starting to come out through the clouds here as well. We've got a women's masters pool play matchup for you today with the collective out of Nova Scotia and Mint for Manitoba. It's Becky Thompson up in the booth here, joined by Nico Birch. And Nico, tell me a little bit about what you think we're going to see today.
Well, I was talking to Becky Chase of the collective, and one thing she mentioned just about the whole women's masters field in general is that every team is hungry for a medal placing here. You know, there are only 6 teams, so obviously 50% will walk away with a medal, but everyone is vying for it, and she says the field has been extremely competitive. So I think this will be a good matchup. Last time these two played against each other, it was a universe point match, and the collective came away with the win. So we'll see if they could do the repeat or if Mint will get the revenge they're looking for and come out with the win today.
Absolutely, and of course, the Mint team as well, recently playing at the World Masters Ultimate Championships only about a week and a half ago in their home city of Winnipeg. So some of them may be a little bit tired. It's really hard to come off 2 back-to-back tournaments like that, whereas the collective, maybe a few more fresh legs, so it'll be interesting to see if that comes into effect here.
Yeah, I was talking to their coach, Sammy Lovett, and she was actually saying that for Mint, World was almost more like a training camp in some sense. Like they were really looking to perform well at Nationals, and this was sort of their peak. And using Worlds to develop their rookies. About half their roster is rookies. The other half are veterans of Mint as well as Fusion, the women's team out of Winnipeg. So we'll see how well they've gelled together after a week of playing in Winnipeg.
So just about a minute or so, just under a minute until we get underway here in this game. Mint in the white jerseys on the right side of your screen. The collective will be wearing blue with red shorts. Impossible to miss that combination. So we'll be getting underway shortly. Mint will be starting on defense.
Just in terms of weather, it is warm, but it's not as humid as it has been in the past few days. And it is still quite windy. Not as bad as we've seen before, but the wind is blowing, I would say, right to left on your screen.
So Melanie Weir will be set to pull here for Mint. Both these teams having relatively good tournaments so far as well.
Yeah, I'm unsure of how Mint did yesterday, but as of right now, the collective is 2-2.
And the collective, a team from Nova Scotia on the schedule, but their players draw from all over the Maritimes as well, hence the name, the collective. It's a group of women coming together to form this team, and we are here underway now. Disc in the middle with Campbell. Chase now, just moving it upfield and resetting to Chase. Person to person set here from the Mint team. That one shot upfield to Gomez. Now just holstering on the far sideline. Doesn't have an option, so shoots it to the end zone. And the defensive play from Weir, making it look easy. She had the inside track there. And she'll get it into play. Mint with their first chance of the game to get a break right away here. Kues swings it to the middle for Weir, who moves it to the far sideline. Campbell for Mint. Finds Weir again. Kubis. A little bit of a zone poachy look from collective, and it'll pay off for them. Becky Chase will pick up here for the Maritime women. Now swung back to Campbell. Disc into the middle, just trying to move it through those unders, but a pick is called upfield. Disc back in play, about 10 yards from the end zone now for the Collective. Still looking to get a hold here as Chase now has it. Chase faking, finds an option, but it's just too far over the head of Nelson there. And Weir will pick up the zone set again from the Collective. To the middle. Now shot around to the far side, trying to use the swing to beat the cup. Delaney surveying her options. Kubis and Campbell going 1 and 2 on the far side over there. And Campbell, an unfortunate drop right on the sideline, and that's going to give the Collective a gift of an opportunity back here as well. Chase finds Nelson up line. Nelson shooting into the end zone. Finds Samantha Paravel, and that is the first goal, a hold here for the Collective. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, that was interesting that the Collective, even though they started on O, they had a zone set look already ready for when they turned it. Definitely, I think, caught Mint off guard. And as they did get the first turn, and they even got the second turn.
So wind definitely playing an effect with the Collective coming down, prepared for that zone look as well. And Nico, just watching the way that Mint was swinging it around, they were doing a good job of executing, just a few little miscues at the end like that drop. And what can they do differently to break through that zone?
I think right now they need something to come through the middle right now. Like they're getting good lateral movement, but there's not enough depth in the movements. They're just like really just staying within the same 5 yards. And it's making it really easy for the Collective to just hold the zone. Whereas if the poppers kind of come in and, threaten those tight spaces that their handlers can hit, that would definitely give them more opportunities, I think.
So we'll get a first look here at the O-line for Mint. Same goes for the D-line here from the Collective. See what they can put together as the pull comes up. A nice floaty pull. It's going to sit right in about the middle of the field here for Mint. Now centered to the middle. The zone look again from the Collective as Froze has it.
I'd like to point out that Froze is not related to the junior on Mofo, as I thought she would be. Apparently Froze is a very popular last name in the Winnipeg area.
So just a foul called on the field, trying to crash through the zone. Dis will come back in with Dufault. Now swinging up the middle, fakes the shot to the end zone. And now around into the end zone. Dufault not even sure she was in as she turned to look for the next throw, but just like that, a clean, no turnover point from Mint, and it's 1-1.
Just a fun fact about Dufault, she is pregnant. She's actually one of 2 on Mint who is pregnant, but the second one would like to remain hidden as she has not told her family. But her husband apparently will get a good chuckle out of that. So 33 is pregnant, and there's someone else. I don't know, make some odds in Winnipeg. See if you can guess who it is.
So 1-1, early stages of this game.
So obviously we've seen the Collective come down with zone twice, but I'm wondering if Mint will follow suit. Right now, both teams have gone upwind holds. The person seemed to be working from Mint pretty well. They got turns out of it, but we'll see if they want to throw a zone look just to try it out.
Weir with the pull. That one is going to sail out of bounds on the far sideline, so it'll be brought in at the brick mark.
Looks to be like they're going person, although it is a little poachy. There's a slough in the lane from 9. Griffiths. Oh. Looks like they're discussing what the brick mark is, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, hard to tell what this discussion is about and why it's taking so long. Good to see smiles on the faces of the players, though, and they will shake hands. So Collective will get the disc back underway. Shooting a floaty one over the top, but finds her receiver in Delaney. Around now to Paravel. And she centers to Nelson. Becky Chase. Delaney shooting to Paravel, and a drop there, maybe just thinking about the throw before she watched that into her hands as the mint goes deep, but contact, I'm not sure it would have affected the play.
Yeah, it looks like she tried to, I think she was trying to get a start and maybe just tripped on Griffith's feet, but it appears there's no call as it was too far for any receiver.
Chase now. Only has Nelson back. Chase and Nelson going 1 and 2. Stanistreet trying to find the reset and shoots it into coverage. Her teammates unsure the disc was coming to them as Weir now in the middle. Mulaney Weir finds a receiver, Ellen Trong. Trong resets the disc, and that one is shot to the end zone for Weir. Amanda Mills with the flick around to Weir, an easy score. And that is going to be the first break of the game.
Yeah, very exciting.
Take it to 2-1.
I really want to point out Griffith's mark on that point. It was very flat, and it definitely prevented Chase from getting those around throws, which were open. But her hand was there, didn't want to throw it. And it did cause a turn.
Yeah, good person-to-person defense there from the Mint team. They're staying tight, hip-to-hip defense, keeping their hands in the back pocket, as one might say. Definitely effective from this Winnipeg team.
Looks like a completely brand new line from the Collective, so we'll see how they handle this downwind point. That's one thing Chase was mentioning to me, that they really do find all their players have rows up in every single game, and that there's not like one specific star on the team. So I think they have full confidence in their depth.
So a few new faces down on this D-line for Mint as they get set to pull. Mills with the pull downfield. It'll sit just before the brick mark as the Collective brings it into play with Burns. Burns shooting the inside shot, but too far in front of her receiver. Mills now. Another inside shot to find Weir. Weir is going to shoot to the end zone. The layout attempt, but it's just too far out of the reach of McKinley, and the Collective a little bit lucky to have that back in their possession.
Yeah, Mint just got off to the races. I really like the fact that Cubis just picked up the disc right away and immediately got the disc moving, opened up everything on the field.
So disc now To the far sideline with DeVoe, who shoots it up line. That one's going to go up, but the receiver had started to come under. A miscommunication there from the collective. Kubas now to Mills. Mills will shoot deep. That one with the big inside-out edge on it, and that's not going to sit up with the float in the air at all. So a bit of a longer point here. We've seen some of the most turnovers we've seen so far in this game very early on. Mint only leading 2-1 as the collective try to find a reset option, but there's a call on the mark. Looks like a no contest, so it will come in on 0. Disc up line now. Turner gets the reset. T-Camp with the disc. Back to T-Camp again, going 1 and 2 here, trying to control the offense. You see her signaling for her players to cut under. T-Camp again, give and going, and she will shoot deep. Defensive coverage will get there. Kubas with the D for Mint. Kubas gets us back in play here, shooting the big flick around into space and reeled in by not the intended receiver. Looks like some discussion about whether or not it was up.
I believe so. Got a good reenactment. Definitely took an acting class.
From my view up here, it did look like it was up, but then shot just behind her reset. Collective still a little bit lucky to get these discs back as Mint is making their own mistakes right now. Wendy T-Camp shooting to the far sideline. T-Camp really controlling the collective's offense right now. Still wanting her players to come in. T-Camp, the inside flick, finds the receiver. DeVoe shoots to the end zone, gets the score and the hold to tie this game at 2s.
Yeah, wait for the receiver to go to the disc. Otherwise, Kubas probably would have had another D there.
So early start to this game. We're at 2-2 here in Brampton. The wind picking up and some dark clouds rolling in behind us, so hopefully we'll keep the storms off. We did have some major weather delays yesterday. We were unable to bring you live coverage of Alberta Flatball Club versus Grand Trunk, but there is a Facebook Live post on Ultimate Canada Facebook page of the game that was played this morning. You can tune into that if you were interested in that one. Today, this afternoon, we will bring you crossover action. We'll have an open crossover game at 2:30 p.m. and a women's crossover at 4:25 for you, so don't go anywhere. We're going to keep bringing you coverage from this Canadian Ultimate Championships here in Brampton. And right now, the collective looking to get a break back to bring us back on serve here.
Yeah, it looks like they have what has been generally their O-line, so I'm not sure if they're just running a 2-line system or maybe this is their stronger upwind line.
Big pull downfield. Coulter with the disc. Another zone look from the collective as Coulter shoots that under the arm to Bowman. Back to Coulter. Through the cup, threading the needle. These discs from Mint going through tight spaces right now, showing no fear. Coulter shoots around to the far side for Froze. Froze almost running out of options, but finds one in Chopik, and that one floating over. Again, not the intended receiver, but it works out here for Mint. Froze again, 20 yards from the end zone. The inside shot, and to the end zone, reeled in, the big grab there. That disc was flying behind her head, so good job to get up for that one, and the Collective find a hold.
That was definitely a better zone offensive point for Mint. The Cutters were definitely creating those gaps in the cup, and we could see that the Mint handlers can thread the needle to those cup. Chase is definitely poaching more into where like the mid would sit in those 3-3-1 zones, and it's creating a lot of space in it's creating a lot of holes for the handlers to throw the disc.
And that was my bad there. That was Mint with the hold. And I got to agree with you on that, Nico, as well. They're doing a good job of cutting and clearing into those spaces to find new options, even at late stall counts. So 3-2, Mint leads over the Collective.
Looks like a lot of the people who are just on the last point are staying on, as we see like Chase and Tanis on.
Mint set to pull, looking to extend their lead to 2. Weir gets us back into play. Nelson now right on the brick mark. Some contact there, but Periville does well to catch that through it. Now Nelson going up line. Has some open options and chooses to float one into the middle, and the defense for Mint ready for that one. Mills over to Weir now. Weir will shoot deep. An open receiver, but misread a little bit. That one just floating, the wind carrying it over the head of Griffiths. Nelson almost not finding an option, gets a late stall one there. Chase now. Back over to Chase. Collective Cutters fairly deep downfield right now. And that one just too far out of the reach for Leanda Daly. Gives Mint an opportunity now in Collective's half. That one through the pressure from Chase. Weir comes down with it. Dishing on the sideline to Kubis. Kubis to the end zone. Finds Voon, and that is the goal. And another break for Mint. They lead 4-2. Looks like the Collective will take a timeout here, down 2 points.
I definitely like this kind of timeout call. I'm a big fan of timeout calls between points, since I feel like it's more even, and definitely doesn't give you a chance for like the defense to rest when you're actually on the field. But it's a good way to break up momentum on a team that seems to be doing well, and Mint is definitely getting some momentum right now.
So at this point, if you're down there as a captain or a coach with the collective, what are you telling them to get them back into this game right now?
You know, it's just like the small things right now. Obviously, as being a collective of people from 3 different cities, I was told they've only had 3 practices, 1 tournament, and 1 scrimmage before this tournament. And their goal is to just improve every aspect of their game, every single game. So right now, I would just say stick to the basics, let's throw our players open, let's cut hard. And just the goals will come. And they're putting good defensive pressure on Mint if they do turn it. So I think they just need to stay in the game a little more and not get as flustered.
Absolutely. So Mint gonna come out of this timeout and look to go on another break run here and extend it to 3. Collective wanting to settle it down and find a hold to keep this game within 1 and not let Mint run away with this. A few more errors, and I think Mint will continue to capitalize on those mistakes, so definitely just looking to clean it up. Dis now in play with the collective. The run through D from Mint. Bowman baiting her defender there. Now Mills. Default looking for a reset in Mills and finds it in the middle of the field. Mills in control of this Mint offense right now. Shooting that one too far in front of her receiver, though. We'll see if the collective can take advantage this time. They will shoot the big backhand huck into space. Bowman too far out of her reach, and it's reeled in 5 yards from the end zone. Nadeau looking for an option, but she got turned around there and lost where her cutter was. An unfortunate turnover. Not something you ever really want to do, lose eye contact with the person you're trying to throw to.
I do also think Bowman actually got a hand on it, so definitely didn't help that either.
Mills now. Mills going every other. Shoots that one through, and a great grab there. Baker reaching behind her head. She resets to Mills. Mills will go through again, looking for Bowman this time. The collective zone unable to guard those mid cutters as they go to the end zone for the goal and another break. McKinley with the score. That is 5-2 for Mint.
That was a great point, especially from Dufault and Bowman. Right now, Bowman might be experiencing some popularity on Facebook, as one of the photographers here, Ed Kung, posted a photo of where she caught the disc with her feet in the goal. Not sure how that would have happened, but hey, a caught disc is a caught disc.
Still a point regardless of how you catch it, as long as it stays up.
I keep thinking that the Mint cutters are sitting a little too far back. They always seem to be behind the midline of the collective's zone. However, their handlers are able to swing the disc very laterally and then get that quick shot up before the mids have a chance to get there. So I think that they should just keep doing what they're doing since it's working.
Yeah, if something isn't broken, why fix it, as they say. So Mint will look to continue this momentum swing that they're on. They were tied at 2s. They've gone on a 3-point run, a hold, and 2 breaks. So they're now up 5-2. We're about 30 minutes into this game already, so some long points happening here as well with lots of turnovers. Both of these teams, if they hope to make it towards the finals on Saturday, are going to want to clean that up and reel some of that in. This will be brought back into play.
Feels like the sideline might be chirping Tanis about possibly bringing it to the middle. Not sure. Seems to be some discussion, but there's lots of good discussion and laughter, so it's fine.
Vertical stack here from the Collective as Chase gets it, shoots inside. Delaney shoots that one upfield, and the quick dish there from Periville. Didn't actually see it coming. Nelson can't get there. Stanistreet, sorry. Now shot around for Mint. Near sideline. Working it through the little gaps here with confidence as Walker goes back to Froze. Almost picked off that one by Nelson. Now Kubas to Weir. Weir with the great layout grab on the second attempt to make that catch and retain possession for Mint. But that time shot too far up the sideline from Kubas. What a great grab there from Weir. Sometimes those discs do bobble off your hands to have the heads-up ability to make that second play. Now going deep the other way. Nelson will reel that one in. Looking for Stanistreet to the end zone and the goal, and that is a good hold here from the Collective. Only one turnover on that point and able to reel it in for the score.
That was just a really nice throw from Tanis. As we said, that the wind is going from right to left, and she's definitely using that downwind to her advantage. Lifted the disc really high so it could just sit for her receivers, who are definitely some of the tallest on the field. It was a really nice point, I thought.
The Collective are going to want to take advantage of that as they continue on in this game. Those deep options they have shot so far haven't been on point with the throws. That one a little bit into space, and also trusting the height of Nelson there. So taking advantage of those and dialing those throws in is really going to help them make a run in this game. Now only down 2 points. Still looking for their first break.
Yeah, if they can get the break here, especially since they're going upwind, and hopefully they can get that 2-point swing with these upwind, downwind points.
Wendy T. Camp will pull here for the Collective. So in play now, floating down, just sailing a little bit to the other side of the field as Mills now has it. Another zone look from the team in blue. Trying to take away that reset option. Mills now back to the sideline for Coulter. Coulter will shoot in front, trying to put that one into space in front of Milne, but just too far. No chance on a play there. Collective will want to take advantage of this to get a break back as T-Camp pump fake on the huck. Resets the disc now. Turner, that one just blading too low for Nelson. As Coulter now in the middle, just off the brick mark for Mint. Just looking for her option and puts that around into space, trusting that her cutter and Stevens would get open as Stevens resets it to Coulter, but it's bobbled out of her hands, and T-Camp, putting the defensive pressure on, will now have a chance to go other way, and you can see she wants to shoot that disc to Nelson, floating in the air. Nelson's got the read on it. Dishes to T-Camp. The IO shot to the end zone, but defensive coverage there.
Yeah, unfortunately that disc just turned and flying out, so it's easy read for the defender.
But immediately Mint now going back the other way, just putting it too far ahead of their receivers again. Wendy T-Camp, a general on this collective offense. We're saying her name every other pass whenever she's on the field right now, really controlling the movement. That one low, but reeled in. Back over to T-Camp. Every other pass opts for the same IO backhand shot to the end zone. This time Nelson will come down with it. T-Camp, learning from her previous mistakes, makes no mistake on that one, and that is their first break of the game.
That was definitely a better throw, held its edge. Although Milne definitely made up some ground on it, so I don't know if I would say throw it faster, because it wouldn't, I don't know necessarily would be a better throw, but it's good on Nelson for coming towards that disc and using her height.
Nelson clearly a valuable receiver for this collective team. Coming down with things in the air, always seeming to have a better read than her opponents. It's one thing to have height, but to be able to read the disc and make sure you're always in the right position with your body as well, that takes a certain level of skill. So now Mint will call a timeout, looking to stop the momentum of the collective here.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, I'm not sure if T-Camp and Nelson come from the same city or have played a lot before. It definitely looks like they have a strong connection on the field. And it was noted that as they come from 3 different cities, they're sort of like pods that play or practice together, but this is like really the first time they're all coming together and being one whole team.
So you can see Mint there on your screen in this timeout. They will bring it in for a cheer, just wanting to slow it down, settle themselves to take this to half. They're 3 points away.
Yeah, definitely doing what I would say is the veteran timeout. Owen always calls it when it's near the end zone. I never think it's a veteran timeout. These ones are the veteran ones. These are the game-changing ones, I find. And it has been. The collective took one, they got a hold, and they got a break. So we'll see if Mint can do the same.
Mint leading 5-4 here. First half action. Women's Masters pool play division here. And the top 2 teams of this pool will move on straight to semifinals. They'll have a bye there where the remaining 4 teams, there are 6 teams in this division, will play off in a quarterfinal situation to get themselves a spot in the semis. So lots on the line. All teams with a chance at the bracket, of course, but you want to give yourself the best shot. And, of course, another game's rest never helps either, or never hurts either.
No.
That one floating up, trying to track it down, and Becky Chase has the read on that one.
A little surprised that she hit it, only because they were going upwind, and there have definitely been times when I've seen a defender hit the disc and it stays up, but she did get a good hit on it. Oh, that's unfortunate though, the drop.
So a gift opportunity back to Mint here as they will get it right on the end zone line. Coulter taps it in. Shot to the end zone is good as Stevens comes down with the goal, burns her defender up line, and they hold. They make it 6-4.
I think that was definitely more of a knowing your receiver kind of cut. Generally we would say on the end zone you kind of get like one juke and that's it, but definitely just waiting for Stevens to make her real cut, and she has that quick first step and gets open easily. Appears the wind is picking up again, still right to left, but yeah, it's getting stronger as the day goes on.
Mills will look to pull this one here for Mint. Been a dominant player so far, really controlling the flow of play the same way that T-Camp has been doing that for the collective. Both these teams do have a lot of depth, as I talked about before the game, but having that kind of leader on the field to control the momentum and the movement is really valuable for any offensive unit.
Yeah, it seemed that Mint especially was looking for their rookies to really develop this year, especially because next year will be a World's year, meaning that the team who wins the Canadian Nationals, the captains and the coaches will be the ones who decide who will be on the World's team for 2020.
Burns finding T-Camp in the middle. T-Camp thought about the huck but signaled at her cutter to come under. Goes for the little inside backhand shot. Now to the near sideline with Burke. Burke finds T-Camp again. DeVoe to T-Camp. T-Camp the same backhand IO shot. That one too low. Could see a little bit of frustration after she released that. She knew that wasn't the throw she wanted to make. Now Mint back in possession with Voon. Finds Mills. Shooting a big around flick, and it's brought down by Weir. Kubis to Mills. Too far from her hands as it's bobbled, and a turnover about 22 or so yards away from the end zone for the collective, and they would really need to get this hold. Want to keep this game within their reach before Mint has a chance to take it closer to halftime. T-Camp. T-Camp faking the backhand and goes around. Now with Nadeau. That one is too far above Emma Burns. And this is what we've seen a little bit from both teams, more so maybe from the collective, is just execution mistakes rather than actual defensive plays happening right now. And Mills will call the timeout here for Mint.
It's interesting to note that Mint has been forcing backhand more on the collective, especially going upwind, which is a little bit of an anomaly, I would say, in most Ultimate games. More players definitely have a stronger backhand, I would say, than a stronger flick. People can generally hold the edge a little bit longer, or get a better float on the disc compared to when they throw flick. But it seems to be working. It might be because they're trying to prevent the arounds more, and the flick around is definitely a harder throw, in my opinion, than the backhand.
You can see collective having a lot of fun down there, clapping along, singing a little bit, trying to stay loose.
I always wondered if it was like a strategy so that the team could never hear what they were going to set up as for defense. Speaking of defense, though, I would not be surprised if the collective comes out in the zone. It's what they've been doing a lot, so and also like forces the Mint to like rethink their offense. And it does look like it's a zone. Mint is set up in a split stack as of right now.
Collective set up here to stop any plays called out of the timeout, and their zone has been effective. Mills shoots a laser there, and it's bobbled through the hands of Ellen Trong.
Oh, no.
But a foul called.
Oh, on the throw, I believe.
Yeah, that one not coming out the way Mills wanted to. You could see it meant, I think, for the bigger Huck, and we've seen her throws be on point throughout this game, so not surprised to see a call. Stall is on 1, so uncontested foul. Finds Weir on the far sideline. Back to Mills. Threading the needle again. This Mint team, no fear of the zone. That's the throw that Mills wanted to make. Has Trong, but the defense does her job in that deep possession as Burke comes down with it.
Yeah, that was a great D, just getting up and high over the receiver. And honestly, the receiver didn't seem to have a great read on it.
T-Camp shooting that back the other way. Mills tried to get there, but just a little bit over her head. Nadeau brings in the score and the hold here for the Collective.
Yeah, that was just a great throw from T-Camp, which is kind of why I was wondering why Mint kept throwing backhand on her. She just seems to love it so much, and she's gone in many holds with her backhand hucks.
Absolutely. She's been unstoppable so far. A few miscued throws, but a player like T-Camp, when she does get that disc back and gets another opportunity, she learns from her mistakes throughout the course of the game as well, and we've seen her dominate. Those backhand hucks are absolutely incredible to see. Mint, on the other hand, needing, I think, to just tighten up on some of those deep strikes. They were doing a very good job of shutting it down at the start of the game, and now just letting them go a little bit, and T-Camp taking advantage of the yards of separation that her teammates are getting. So just some adjustments needed, I think, here from the Winnipeg team.
Also, the Collective looked to put on a different type of zone. Lately, we were first seeing them throw on a 3-3-1 or cup zone. This one looked to be more of a junk look, something that my team personally calls a chinch, where you have a handler mark that's a bit more straight up, and then you have two that are taking the resets, or like an upfield reset space, and then you have your mids, and you're deep in a sort of a diamond formation. And it looked really nice, actually.
Coulter now. The person look this time from the Collective into the middle. Chopik finds Bowman. Coulter shimmying to get open up line. Doesn't have an option. Stall count climbing. Finds Froze. Looks like a pick called in the middle of the field as the Cutters will reset a little bit.
Looks like the Collective is taking a page out of Mint's book and also forcing backhand on these upwind points. Again, maybe looking to capitalize on the around flicks, hanging and getting a D on them.
Mint just under 10 yards from the end zone. Just discussing where the stall count will come back in. The call was actually a foul call between Coulter and Delaney there. Just Coulter trying to cut up line to get open and some contact occurring. So this will come back in with Froze. Froze centering that to the middle for Bowman. Bowman will go around to the end zone. Threading the needle there, some defensive pressure, but no problem for Coulter, who cut from one side of the end zone all the way to this near cone to get the goal.
Those were just very nice around flick breaks. They kept the edge just a little bit IO, so they stayed flat, and they didn't have like any rise to them whatsoever, so it was definitely easy for each receiver to catch. Didn't have to make like a hard play on it.
So Mint keeping their 2-point lead here. They lead 7-5 over the Collective. And that is going to be a timed half, I believe, with our time reaching 45 minutes. So a good first half from both teams overall. They're going to want to clean up some of those execution errors, and I'm sure they'll both talk about that during the huddle. We're going to take a short break here and be back with you with second half action in just a couple minutes. Hello and welcome back to the 2018 Canadian Ultimate Championships. Here in Brampton, Ontario, we've got Women's Masters Division pool play action here for you. The weather delays yesterday not affecting the games actually for this Masters Division. They're playing each team once, with the top two teams advancing straight to semifinals and the bottom four competing against each other in a crossover game. Right now in this one, we've got Mint out of Manitoba leading the collective 7-5. And Nico, how can you sum up that first half for us?
So we knew going into this would be a tough game. You know, last time they played, it was a universe point win for the collective, and I expected a really hard game. Mint has definitely been showing the fact that they want this win. They want the revenge on that universe point win. We can also see that the collective are still trying to gel together. There have been some miscues. But there also have been miscues from Mint. Not sure if it's because half the team is new to the team, or maybe it's just the weather, or the fact that this is their fifth game. There's a lot of factors into this. Everyone, of course, makes the bracket, so to speak, but definitely having the bye would be a huge advantage.
So the collective starting on defense and will look to try and get a break right away. Disc brought in with Coulter now. swinging that one around. Low, but Froze manages to keep that one up. Just threading it upfield now. That one floating. And Nelson managing to get the D, helping Bowman up. Good spirit there from the two players. No call made on that play. Nelson just getting her hand to that one first.
Yeah, it looked like the collective went back to that chinch look that I mentioned earlier, and I think it's been more successful than the cup they've shown previously.
So, a call on the throw here. Disc will stay with the receiver. Periville will bring it into play here. Finds DeVoe. DeVoe looking for a reset. Goes up line. The pressure defense almost there. Now resets to T-Camp. Shooting up to Nelson. Nelson finding herself with yards of open space. T-Camp scooping her defender now. You can see her eyes constantly looking to the end zone. And now up line finds DeVoe. Nelson 2 yards out looking for a break here. T-Camp directing traffic. Goes for the inside shot. That one catches the wind and will sail out of the back of the end zone.
My coach for Sixers, Carla DiFilippo, will honestly tell you that the IO flick break on the end zone line is her least favorite throw in all of Ultimate, and we definitely get penalized when we take those kind of looks at practices.
And right away, Mint throwing it straight into Wendy T-Camp's hands, and she will take advantage, putting that one into the end zone. That's a break right off the bat here for the collective, and they've got to be happy with that one. They now trail by 1 at 7-6.
Yeah, they definitely needed this downwind hold. You know, just puts more pressure on Mint to perform.
So now only down by 1 point. See how both of these teams continue to respond through the course of this game.
I don't believe Mint has taken a timeout, although they are in quite a large gathering at the moment.
Lots of teams do, of course, like to come together to make those line calls. Can sometimes be confusing for us up in the booth, figuring out if it was a timeout or not. Luckily, observers here and scorekeepers to keep things moving along. Amazing and working very hard. So Tanis to pull here for the collective. That one will sail to the far side of the field. Centered to Mills. And that one too low. Mills looks to the sky in frustration as Tanis will get a chance here. They're 20 yards from the end zone, looking to tie this game up. Becky Chase now scooping, and that time the defender, Dufault, was ready for that one. Mills happy to have that one back in the possession of Mint.
Yeah, I will say when you do those kind of scoop or swim cuts, you really need to take the inside lane for it in order for them to work, and unfortunately that's not what happened. Dufault was on the inside, was able to get her hand on it.
Crisp now puts the high release backhand to Froze. The wind, you can hear it picking up a little bit, and that one shot too low. The bidding Milne just too far from the disc as Tanis now finds Delaney to chase. And that, not aware that there was a defender there, a clearing cut upfield left the defender in that space, led to the poach block there. But again, too high, and these two teams right now trading mistakes back and forth. The team here who can, and simple to say, but make the least mistakes will start to pull away in this game. And Chase now looks to the end zone, and another blade into the ground here for the Collective. The big huck from Mills downfield, easily reeled into the hands of Melanie Stevens. And now that's the kind of play we want to see from Mint, making it look easy here as they lead 8-6.
Yeah, as we've talked about before, the around flick breaks, if you do not put the right edge on them, they will blade down. And in this one, that's exactly the result we're expecting with them. I also do wonder, I have not thrown on the field at all, but I do wonder if the side furthest away from our booth is the low side. As generally what that means is that with wind, there will be a side of the field you'll find where discs will generally be pushed down, meaning low, or a disc that will stay up, which is high. From my feeling of the wind, I would think that the far side would actually be the high side, but as I have not thrown, I'm not sure exactly.
We're set to pull here for Mint. Will be picked up here by Burns. T-Camp getting open for the reset. Puts that one to the undercut of DeVoe. And picked off. Poach block in the lanes from Jennifer Campbell, who Kubas then picks up and going across now to the far side with Griffiths. That one sitting too low again, and these throws just dropping like crazy on both sides of the disc right now. Emma Burns, open cut of Periville. And that one was in her hand, and on the stumble manages to drop it. Weir thought about that huck. Instead finds Campbell, and she will take a timeout call right in the middle of the field, just a few yards from the halfway line.
Yeah, it's been a long point. It's getting messy. Might as well take time to regroup. Also, I would say that, like, in terms of field position-wise, this is not a bad place to take a timeout. Generally, the worst place, I would say, is very close to your own end zone line.
Yeah, just looking maybe to settle down the play. Execution errors on both sides of the disc, so this could be a good thing for both teams, just to take a deep breath and settle it down, reel some of those throws back in. So Campbell will bring this disc back into play for Mint, just waiting for her team to set up. The observer signaling
think there's some confusion as to how the O is setting up, or oh, no, that is how they're setting up. Interesting look. It's a very short horizontal stack that is very clustered around the disc.
Immediately flowing out of that, Kubas shooting, gets the receiver in Voon. Back to Kubas. Finds Campbell. Collective holding their zone look here. Campbell finds an option through the middle. Walker, that one low, but Campbell keeps it in control in her hands. Now around to the far side. Walker shooting up line to Voon. Running out of options. Stall count climbing. Has to shoot. And the run through D from Nelson. It looks like there was a call on the play. Nelson right in the back pocket of Ellen Trong there.
I believe Nelson has made the hand signal for contest. This might be lucky for Mint, actually. The stall count was getting really high, but the highest it can come on a contested foul is 6.
So reset now to Weir. Looking for Kubas, and Kubas almost had that in her hands and maybe just started to think about what she was going to do next with it, so bobbles that one. Disc back with the collective. Low, but T-Camp rolling down to keep that in possession. Now far side with Patterson. Back to T-Camp. Burns, that one low, and a touch as well from Brittany Griffiths. Just enough to push it into the ground. Kubas finds Voon to the end zone for the goal. Ellen Trong with the score, and they lead by 3.
That was some great disc movement. Just immediately, like cutters, once they saw the handler catching the disc, they were immediately starting to make their cuts, and then just getting wide open.
So Mint extending their lead to 9-6. There's about 25 minutes left in this game. So enough time for the collective to make a run still. They're going to want to bring it back within 1 before that hard cap horn goes. We've seen a few teams do that before, but time, still plenty left, but not quite on their side anymore. So they're going to want to make that run. Starting just about right now would be a good time to go.
Yeah, especially since how long these points have been dragging. It would be the time to start making your momentum swing.
Mills will pull here for Mint. Collective looking to respond. Mint, on the other hand, with a break or two more, can put this game away.
Wind has really started to pick up now as we were getting some nice cloud cover, so it's not hot, but I think these players would definitely prefer maybe some heat over these gusty winds.
A low pull there, but brought in now with the collective as Tanis finds Chase. There was a pick call on Chase's cut, I believe, so just discussing whether or not the defender had a play on it. Looks like she will just catch up a little bit.
I think Chase is just explaining exactly what the pick rule is in terms of the spacing. So yeah, if you don't have a play on the disc, you can still call the pick and are allowed to catch up as long as you're within 10 feet as the pick was made.
So back in play with Chase now. Pressure defense from Mint will cause the turnover as that throw sails back towards their own end zone. Mills, the around backhand, sailing to the back corner, and that one was always being pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, especially after that great mark from Dufault. She went super lateral on Chase, and it made it very hard for her to get that flick around.
Tanis brings it back into play. Now Chase finds Delaney. And that one, the shot from Tia Saley is too low towards Chase, and it will give Mint an opportunity on the doorstep here. Extend their lead to the biggest of the game yet. Froze searching for an option. Not a lot of movement in the stack right now, but then there comes the open cut from Chopik, and that is the biggest lead of the game. They lead by 4 points at 10-6.
Yeah, this has just been a dominant performance for Mint, especially in terms of their efficiency near the end zone. They seem to be getting everyone and punching it in. Another thing that they were doing when they were on defense was really sitting under their players. Right now, as we said, the wind has picked up, and the collective were going upwind. So by sitting under the defenders, they're really just telling them, hey, throw it deep, it'll sit, we can get those Ds.
Mint looking calm now. They've extended their lead to 4 points with 20 minutes remaining, so definitely in the driver's seat of this game. Collective not totally down and out yet. Nothing is ever over. But they've got to make a run and find a hold and find those breaks soon. And at this point as well, I mean, the pressure defense from Mint definitely causing some of those mistakes, but also Collective beating themselves a little bit on some of those passes, making some execution errors that you can see if those are caught, a little bit, few inch difference on some of those throws and catches, that this game would be a different story right now.
Yeah, you can definitely see that there's a lack of cohesion, specifically between the handlers and cutters, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's just because of the fact that they've had so little time together. Especially after Mint coming off of Worlds, and they spent a whole week together just playing games and getting to know each other.
Patterson brings that one in to T-Camp in the middle. Person-to-person defense here from Mint. Nelson looking for an option and gets it in Erica Turner. Wendy T-Camp on the far side. Working the unders now with DeVoe. T-Camp going every other here still. Shoots the around backhand, but a pick was called, and it looks like it is on Patterson. The pick was called before the disc was thrown to Patterson, so she thought she was just wide open there for a moment. So Wendy T-Camp will keep the disc. Now moving it around, getting low there to keep it in possession is DeVoe. DeVoe will shoot that to Nelson. T-Camp and another pick called.
That was a good grab from Nelson, especially since I don't believe she was the intended target as T-Camp was in the isolation space.
Swung around now to T-Camp. 10 yards from the end zone line as they try to work it into a goal-scoring opportunity. Turner has to opt for the hammer to T-Camp as she will shoot to the end zone. And the goal from Nat DeVoe, and a interesting option there from Turner. Felt like she didn't have a choice but to get that hammer off for the reset. But it pays off for them here. Get their hold, 10-7. Now they've got to go on a run.
Yeah, that was a great end zone offense from the collective. End zone is probably the hardest aspect of for most teams in terms of maintaining possession and being patient, and the end zone just did a clinic there. Although I may not recommend the reset hammer. Not sure if that will be. It could be the new throw, you know. Scoobers had a moment. Lefty backhands are having their moment. Maybe it's reset hammers now.
15 minutes to go in this game. Give you some score updates from the Masters Women's Division. In other games, we've got Thrift Shop leading 10-3 over Nebula. Forever 31 leading 11-6 over Vega. So some convincing wins happening in this division right now. Tanis with the pull now for the collective. Mills will bring it into play. Finds an option in the middle. Dufault shoots that one upfield to Chopik. Mint having to go to ground a few times in a row here to keep these discs in their possession as they now shoot to the end zone and too far over the head, and collective are going to have to take advantage of this one as Tanis walks back to pick up the disc. And they can't take advantage right away. Disc bobbled off the chest of Delaney. Froze now. Gets the reset with Milne. To Mills. 2 yards out. Now looking up line. Finds the goal. Sarah Jane Milne with the score. Makes this game 11-7.
Yeah, speaking from personal experience, I definitely think that when you're on the end zone, most end zone offenses have the reset handler be the upline cut on the open side, but look towards the back on the break side. As we could see, there was a cutter from Mint who was trying to battle her way to the front on the open side, but it's just very hard as your defender is just sitting under you. It's more of a foot race rather than just easy offense.
More familiar faces back on the D-line here for Mint. We're seeing Campbell always out there. Weir, Voon, Trung, Kubis, always on the line here on this defensive unit for Mint, and it's clearly been paying off for them, as well as they're now up 4 points.
The collective are now sprinting to the line as they would be issued, I believe, a TMF or a time warning about not being there when after the observer I believe counts a minute.
Yeah, offense does get 70 seconds to put their hands up on the line, and defense 90 Yeah, 90 seconds to pull. Camp will pick up and find Emma Burns. Burns shooting up line. Kubas almost had a hand to that, but it's reeled in by the collective as they jam it up the sideline, just keeping their toes in bounds. And there was a call. Looks like a travel call as the observer is just signaling. So disc will return to the thrower. And it'll be brought in with LaSalle. Now centered to T Camp. Finds LaSalle. Back to T Camp. Looks for the backhand cross-field huck. That one is going to work straight into the hands of Candace Bannister for the goal, keeping this game within 3 points.
Yeah, that's just T-Camp using the mark to her advantage. You could see that the mark was really trying to cover that upline space and just had the free backhand huck.
T-Camp definitely, for me, my MVP on this field right now as well, Nico. She may not be on the winning side of things currently as it stands, but the general of this collective offense, controlling the play and going every other pass, taking risks on some of those shots, which I actually like to see, especially in a situation when they need to get a couple breaks back to get themselves on the board. There are only 10 minutes left, and Mint calling a timeout to take advantage of slowing down time a little bit as well here.
Yeah, T-Camp, I think it's just, she knows that they're down. You got to do a quick hold, and it's like live or die by the huck, which I'm okay with that.
Mint getting themselves pumped up. You can hear one of them yell, "Let's finish as strong as we started." They did start the game strong, so looking to close it out in the same fashion. They'll want to stop any chance of a comeback here from the collective team. A comeback absolutely not impossible either right now. They can definitely make a run at it.
Anything's possible in windy weather, in my opinion.
They've just got to get 2 points on the board in the next 9 minutes before that horn goes.
Yeah, it's very doable. I wonder if the collective will go back to zone. It's been working. The few times they have put it on, they've been seen to do more person, especially with the Mint going downwind. But maybe the zone will just, mess them up again.
So we'll see what they can do during that timeout. The collective D-line stayed together in a huddle, and their sideline went and had their own discussion, and sometimes just good to get that defensive unit together and their heads engaged, ready. They know what they have to do here.
I also like to point out that the sidelines for both teams have been very positive as well as very active. Sign of, I would say, veteran play, knowing that the sideline is the 8th team member on the field. Not actually on the field, though. That would be a TMF.
Coulter will bring it in, going 1 and 2 here. Now with Chopik. And that one too low. Collective need to take this opportunity. They need to get this break. Chase taps it in. Centers to the middle for Leah Campbell. Back to Chase. Person defense here from Mint. Chase will go up to Delaney. Now Campbell again. Gets an under option in Natalie Gomez. Delaney finding Chase and going straight up line to get that disc back. And a call on the play. So disc will return to the thrower. Delaney now. Chase taking that inside lane. 10 yards from the end zone. Delaney keeps that one in possession despite the bobble on the throw.
Well, I don't think the collective had mean to do this. It looks very much like they're trying to run a dominator, which is basically a handler weave with 3 of their handlers just giving and going.
Chase, that one's going to float, but Delaney reels it down. Gets Chase again into the center of the end zone. Delaney and Chase going 1 and 2 here, not finding options into the end zone. Delaney right on the doorstep. Good patience as well from this collective team as she goes back to Campbell. Chase finds Delaney, and that is the combination that we wanted to see. They get one break back on the board. Can they get another? But the horn has gone. So the game will stand with Mint. And it looks like just some discussion over what happens now. The observers talking. I did think that that was 5 minutes early for the horn to go. The horn but if that is the horn, then Mint will win this game. The horn going off right at the end of the point there, so that would mean that they could play out one more point.
Oh, I believe they are playing another point, at least.
I think, yeah, the discussion there, just if the horn went, well, that point was still finishing, or just after, and it looks like it was decided that just after it is, so they will play out one more point. Collective can break to finish this game at 11-10, whereas Mint will win. The score just to be decided here.
The points will matter as since all teams make the bracket, it might have to go to point differential if there's any ties. I would not be surprised if these teams met sometime later in the bracket, whether that's in the quarters or the semifinals or maybe even the finals.
Wendy T. Camp set to pull here. That one heads downfield. Centers to Dufault, over to Weir. Now Mills. Zone look here from the collective. Froze with the disc. Weir. Almost the run through D from LaSalle, but Dufault gets it upfield to the end zone, and the layout grab in the back corner for the goal. Melanie Stevens coming out of nowhere to make that play, and that is going to win it for Mint. They will win this game 12-9. Nico, a great game we just saw overall. A few execution errors on both sides of the disc. How can you sum this up for us?
I think Mint definitely came here with a vengeance to win this game. You know, they said the heartbreak on that Universe Point loss last year was hard, and they wanted to prove themselves that they were the dominant team, and I think they did that. They had less execution errors, and that point just showed it all.
So Mint winning this game 12-9. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back with action from the open crossover game at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay tuned on our social media to find out who will be playing in that game. For Becky Thompson and Nico Bursch, it's been a great morning with you so far, and we will see you later today.